Hello there, my friend. Let me ask you something. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? Whether it's a project, a dream, or even a healthier lifestyle, how often do we push the most important things to someday? You see, I used to live like that too. I thought I had all the time in the world to get things done. But one day life taught me a lesson I'll never forget. Someday isn't promised. The only time we truly have is today. So sit with me for a while. Let's talk about why starting today can change everything. I'll share some of the lessons I've learned along my journey, and together we'll explore how to make the most of this precious gift called time. Part 1. The Illusion of Someday. When I was in my 30s, I was obsessed with building my business. I worked long hours, sacrificed vacations, and told myself, one day, when I have more time, I'll focus on my health. I'll spend more time with my family. I'll enjoy life. But then one afternoon, I got a call that stopped me in my tracks. My father, the man I admired most, had suffered a heart attack. I rushed to the hospital, but by the time I got there, he was gone. I remember sitting in that sterile hospital room, holding his hand, realizing how fragile time really is. My father had dreams of traveling the world, writing a book, and learning how to paint. But he kept saying, I'll do it later. Later never came. It was in that moment I understood something deeply. Someday is a dangerous lie we tell ourselves. The only day that truly matters is today. Part 2. The Power of Small Beginnings. Now I know what you might be thinking, but I'm not ready. I don't have enough time, energy, or resources. Let me tell you a little story. When I started my first business, I didn't have much. No big investors, no fancy office. Just an idea and a lot of determination. I could have waited for the perfect moment, but instead I took the first small step. I made a single phone call, and that call turned into a meeting, which turned into a deal. Small steps taken consistently have a way of snowballing into something extraordinary. Starting doesn't mean you need to have it all figured out. It just means taking the first step, even if it's tiny. Remember, it's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing one thing today that moves you closer to your goal. Part 3. Shifting your priorities. Here's another lesson I've learned. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. I spent years chasing the wrong things. Money, recognition, and status. Thinking they would bring me happiness. But they didn't. One day I had lunch with an old friend. He looked at me and said, "You've built an empire, but have you built a life?" Those words hit me like a ton of bricks. So I started asking myself some tough questions. What really matters to me? Am I spending my time on things that align with my values? If today were my last day, would I be proud of how I spent it? These questions forced me to reevaluate everything. And you know what I found? It's not the big achievements that bring lasting joy. It's the little moments. A heartfelt conversation, a walk in the park, a quiet evening with family. Part 4. Embracing mindfulness. I'll let you in on a little secret. The key to starting today isn't just about taking action. It's about being present. Let me explain. When we live in the past, we get stuck in regret. When we focus too much on the future, we drown in anxiety. The present moment is the only place where we have control. One practice that has helped me immensely is mindfulness. Every morning, I spend 10 minutes simply breathing and being aware of my surroundings. I focus on the sound of birds outside my window, the warmth of my tea, the rhythm of my breath. This small ritual helps me start each day with clarity and peace. And it's in this state of calm that I'm able to make better decisions, both in my personal and professional life. Part 5. The Ripple Effect of Starting Today. Here's the most beautiful thing about starting today. It doesn't just change your life. It impacts everyone around you. When I began prioritizing my health, my team noticed. They started taking better care of themselves too. When I made time for my family, my children felt more loved and secure. When I began living with purpose, it inspired others to do the same. You have more influence than you realize. Your decision to start today can create a ripple effect that touches lives in ways you can't even imagine. My friend, life isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making the moment you have perfect. So what will you do today? Will you take that first step, no matter how small? Will you choose to focus on what truly matters? The truth is, the clock is always ticking. But here's the good news. As long as you're breathing, it's never too late to start. Thank you for spending this time with me.